Okay, we are here at Chalk Ridge Falls Park. This is the parking area for the trails. Okay, there's the dam, and there's a state highway that runs on top of that. There's a trash can. There's a set of restrooms. They are primitive. They're not plumbed. They're like an outhouse, but they were reasonably clean, so that's fine. So anyway, we're going to walk down to the waterfall for this place, which is probably one of the main reasons to come in here. So there are a lot of other trails, and I want to make sure that if you come here, you know exactly which way to go to get to it, so that you're not wandering around. Uh, I don't know. I'm going to say it's probably less than a mile there. It's pretty open. Trail's in pretty good shape. It's wide, and there are some places where you can rest, that they have benches. So if you're a little older, or got somebody with you that's a little older, or somebody that's just not moving as well, or you have children, I think this is fine for children. Am I bringing an 18-month-old? No, but a small child that can walk a little bit, this would be fine. This is, if you notice this is wide open. You can hear some birds. There is a creek that runs alongside us here. This is the spillway for that dam. So I'll get back on this trail. So I want to show you exactly which ways you need to go to get to the waterfall. Notice this is all very open. There are a couple of places where the trees are a little heavy, but they're not bad, and it's a short distance to not be able to show you exactly where the open areas break out. All right, so if you're on the way back and you kind of have to catch your breath a little bit before you do that last few feet to the car, there are two benches here that you can sit and rest. Or you can, on the way out, just sit and just start getting your mind right and start soaking up nature, listening to the wind blow through the leaves of the trees, a few birds. Of course, right now I hear an airplane up in the distance. So I'm just going to let this roll as we walk up to where those railings are down at the end of this trail. Okay, here's a stepped access down the creek. There are some warning signs that tell you, one, you need to be careful, because especially if it's been raining and they need to release water, then all that area is going to flood, and going to flood quickly and rapidly. But also too, there's what they call an algae warning. So basically in this area through, just stay out of the water, stay out of the moss on the water. And so that means I would keep my pets out of it too. Not sure exactly what the concern is with it, but they feel the need to warn people to stay out of it. Now that plane in the background, I think he must be doing some kind of practicing or training or something, because I've heard him do where they've turned the engine off and then turned it back on, the way it's revving, and it sounds like he's going through movement. So I don't know, he must be doing some training, practicing or something. Now there's another little trail that kind of goes off, and there's also a trail that runs along the creek partially, so you could go down there and walk along the creek a little bit. Okay, now when you get down to this pipe fencing, we're going to go right. We're not going to go straight. We're not going to go underneath it. Don't know where that goes. And I didn't go down there, and it's not relevant to where we're headed. Now this is an overlook. I think they've actually have a couple of these. This is kind of cool. Now that impoundment of water over there, we'll be able to see that a little bit later. So anyway, so this is what this overlook does. Okay, so and you also, yeah, here's a trail marker. All right, so when we get to this pipe fencing, pipe rail, we're going to make a right. Okay, we've got a few steps. And we're back over the trail. Now, one thing about this, the trails are wide. So it's not like some of the smaller trails where if you're not really paying attention, you may lose track of where you are. These are very easy to follow. In fact, they're wide enough that if they allowed it, it could even be a bike path. And for the most part, they're in good shape to walk on. But you need decent shoes still. You know, you're not coming out here in a pair of Crocs or flip-flops or a pair of flat canvas sneakers. Okay, this is the first kind of rest day area, sort of. There's a bench, and it just kind of just gives you a feel of what's around it. There's back, and if you look there, that's where we walked along the pipe railing. Okay, it's fairly open now. Obviously, in the spring and summer, these trees are going to have leaves on them, so it's going to be a little more shaded. Now, there's an example here of other trails that go places. There's plenty of those. So if you want to explore those, you certainly can. But again, our purpose is to, how do we get to the waterfall? Okay, now here's a wooden deck and walkway that's going to take us across the creek and on the second half of the trip to the waterfalls. Now, these are, we're going down these steps. You can see, boy, there's a nice big tree. And you kind of, there's some nice hills. That's kind of cool. And sky above, so you got a good feel. Okay, let's continue down. Okay, there's kind of a big step here. Some of these have big steps coming off of them, so you need to make sure you're sure-footed, and if you're not, make sure somebody's helping you. Okay. And this goes up trail. I believe this is probably the trail that went underneath the railing, and this is where it comes out at. Okay, here's another little lookout. There's not much to look at here. Here's a stair that will take you down now and allow you to walk around the creek. There's some trails that go back to the other side. You can probably come back to your right. You can just explore where you wanted to if that's how you're so inclined. And that plane's still flying around. Okay. And it's not a specific overlook, but it is kind of a nice view. See, there's a trail over there. If you're adventuresome, you can definitely keep yourself busy and happy. Okay, so now we're getting to the part that's really kind of got the trees, but they're not bad. And if you know how, and if trees, being in a whole bunch of trees bother you, then you can tell exactly how far you need to walk in them, so you don't feel like there's no end in sight. All right, and we're going to go up these steps. Well, I can't see because the sun's in my eyes. And there is a park bench up here. I do hear people. Okay, here's a trail to the right, and you can see, and it also will break off and go to multiple places. Again, this is not where we want to go. So when we get to the end of this walkway and bridge, okay, this is where we're at. There's another trail marker. See the red, that. There's a bench. There's another trail that leads off somewhere. All right, we're gonna make a left turn here. Notice how much wider this is compared to that. So, because this is the main intent for most people, is this way. Yeah, there's kind of some trees, but it's pretty. It does make it kind of nice and cool because it does keep the sun off of you. But again, these trees aren't real long as far as the time you have to spend in them. See, another little trail that goes off somewhere. But again, you just stay on this big trail. Okay, we have another kind of little clearing, meditation, rest area, soak up nature, whatever you want to do. This is, okay, and that's where we came from. Okay, so, all right, so we're gonna walk past this. Okay, that doesn't go anywhere. All right, I'm gonna have to walk faster. I've got a family with some kids coming behind me, and they may become the show very quickly. Okay, you can hear the waterfall. Okay, there's two ways to go, but we're going to go another way. But you can kind of see where there's some trails that run underneath there. All right, so we're going up these steps. And we're going to go ahead and go straight to the trail, to the falls. This is all nice and open. There's some tall grass. There's a trail that goes down there. Okay. And there's other places that go along the creek here, this area, but let's go down where the waterfall is. Now these are kind of big steps, so if you have some mobility issues, you're going to need some help. Somebody just kind of help keep you a little stable, because it is kind of steep. Not bad. I mean, they're nice and wide. This last one's kind of a bigger deal because this is pretty high up. So you really kind of need to go to the left here, because the step to the right kind of a big step. Okay, so we're going to step down. And this is what we came to see. We're going to kind of walk up beside it. Like I said, there's a lot of little places along this area that you can walk down and get close to the creek and have some different views. Just nice canyon effect there along this wall. So we're going to walk up this. This will be for a little more able body. And there's other places along here that you can do this and get down close. There's a trail that take you down the water. There's a bench right over there. So I'm going to walk up here. Like I said, you can see more trails. Okay, so this is how you get to the waterfall at this park. And I'm going to show you one other thing while I'm here. I'm going to walk down on this trail here on the side. Okay, here's people walking behind me. All this right here is just right here around the falls. You can see everywhere you're going. So it's not like you're going to take a little walk and suddenly get lost. And there's, said right up behind where I came from, that's the fall, and we actually walked down the steps here. And I just now came down these steps here. And then there's actually a place behind me that all goes back up to that main trail we were just at. But I wanted to show you this because I thought this was kind of cool. Okay, now here's some steps that do go down to the across the river. Now this tree has fallen across the entrance to the bridge, but if you see, you can walk down, walk around, walk underneath the tree, the bridge, go up that side or underneath the bridge, and then you can walk up into this area and just go all up in here if you want. And there's more trails that go up that area. All right, so now we're going to, instead of walking up steps we came down, I'm going to walk up a hill, which again, I would probably not recommend this one for somebody impaired because it's kind of steep, but just a few feet to my left are stairs, and that will work. And then this is the trail that you got on when you came off the the bridge, the wood bridge walkway. See, and that's how we walked to the falls. We around that corner and then went down the stairs. Okay, here's some more people. Good place for pets. Everybody seems to have their dogs out here. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you? Wonderful.
Yes, it's not very far. And so, I am going to go ahead and show this going back. So, again, for those that don't have a good sense of direction, maybe this will help you. Remember, this is one of the overlooks we're talking about. There's that last bench. Notice again how the trail is nice and wide. Okay, here's the bench that you come to when you step off the wood bridge walkway. Again, you can use it however you want. Just sit and enjoy it. And I'm actually going to, once I show you this, okay, then just follow this back. At the top, you'll make a right, and it takes you right down to where the metal pole railing was, and you turn right along it, and then right there on your left is that large trail that, or it wasn't even trail, but that long wide open area that takes you up to where the cars are parked at the base of the base of the dam. So I'm going to sit here for just a moment and kind of soak up nature. And anyway, if you come out here, now you know how to find the dam.